Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a today's topic video for the 15th of September. Now, as always, in this series of videos that I put out every day that I call my today's topic series, you can enter to win a free reading. I always give away one each week to one of my subscribers. So to enter, all you have to do is be a subscriber, give this video a thumbs up, and write the word compassion in the comment section. That lets me know you want to be entered to win, because I never want to read for somebody if they didn't want me to, because it's just not very polite of me. Now, also, I just want to give you guys a reminder. I always record these and put these out a couple days in advance. So just as a side note, if you're new to my channel, welcome first off, but I am also doing other giveaways, and I didn't want you to miss out on those. So if you are watching the other video series that I call my bonus general messages on the 15th, the actual day, the 15th, I will be doing a giveaway every day there where it'll be a tangible prize that I give away. So I just wanted you guys to know. So on this series, you can just enter to win for the free reading. But if you're watching that other series that I put out daily, which is a bonus general message, that's where I'll be doing a giveaway starting on the 15th. Okay, so and that'll be an actual tangible prize. And aside from that, if you're still new to my channel, welcome. I also put out singles readings on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and I also do all zodiac readings all week. So anyway, there's lots to look for, and I have playlists for all of them. We've got the Two of Swords for our starting point here. Somebody's got to make a choice. Somebody's turned their back to the idea of making a choice right now, and they are distracting themselves. They're really buying themselves time. Could be a feminine, doesn't have to be, but somebody is distracting themselves on purpose to buy themselves time. You know what's weird though? I feel like they are waiting for something. I feel like they're acting, because we're looking at her. It's like she knows that we're here, or she knows that somebody's going to be approaching, and she doesn't know what she wants to say yet. So she's kind of like pretending she doesn't know somebody's there because she doesn't know what to say just yet. Princess of Sacred Circles in the reverse. She doesn't want to say yes. She doesn't want to give. Why is she feeling hard-hearted about this? And, that's not a judgment, right? There's reasons why sometimes we go, even if somebody comes in like with a huge apology or something, I don't know that I want to take it. I don't know that I want to have to turn around and be like, oh, now I'm in this awkward position of having to say something in response. This is tough because her heart is torn in two pieces. On one part of her, she says, I would like to sit down and have conversation, just me and this person. Sit down in a room together and really look each other in the eyes and say what needs to be said. On the other hand, this is over. I don't have any happiness here. My happiness, my potential to have happiness with this person, I don't want to revisit how much unhappiness I had with them instead. I don't want to revisit the sorrow, and maybe I don't feel like I could possibly feel safe with them again or trust them again. Yet the other half of her says, I'll never know unless I sit down and have dialogue and be just one-on-one with this person. Interesting. She doesn't really want to give to this, but I can see the complication in this. I can totally understand her plight as a human being. I know I have found myself in situations like that where it's like, I don't want this, but I want this, but I don't want this, but I don't want this, and I kind of want this. It's like, oh my gosh, it's tough. What happened? Prince of Cups. What happened? Someone came in with, an amazing energy at one point in time. This was pure. This was love. This was everything. This was everything. But you notice they're coming riding in with this backdrop of all of this thunder and lightning. So there was trouble. There was trouble brewing in the distance. This person came in maybe with a pure intention, but man, did they bring a storm with them. So somebody really, she knows that this person really loved her truly, and broke her heart anyway and rode right back out. Look at this. The hunk on a horse comes on in, right? And they bring a freaking storm, but they also bring something real and something true. She knows this person loved her. And they also brought grief, like even the sky is crying, you know? Like that's a blues song right there. My gosh. Is that Howlin' Wolf or is that Muddy Waters? And then hunk on a horse, made trouble, hurt her. Interestingly enough, they put on the armor and then they turned around and rode out. Left her crying, but they wound up wearing the armor and left. They come in with all this love and they leave wearing armor. Why? I don't understand. What the heck happened here? The Hierophant. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't even want to have to say this, but let's break this card down a little. This is Taurus energy, right? Hierophant is usually about rules, regulations. It's also, though, about connection to our higher self. It can also be about marriage. Now, in this card, we see this is really like the High Priestess of Delphi. This is the Oracle of Delphi with the other priestesses. And, you know, they look into the future, right? And here they are trying to scry. The other priestesses are working on scrying in this, you know, bowl of water, trying to, like a crystal ball, trying to look into the future. She doesn't even have to look into that. She's looking straight at us. She is completely and utterly already aware of something true. I feel like it was deep inner knowledge that that this hunk on a horse, although they came in with love, that they had a huge mess that they were maybe running away from when they first met her. And it was something that was going to follow them. She knew that. She didn't have to look into a dish of water or a crystal ball to figure it out. Her higher self said, you know darn well this person's not going to stay. You know darn well this person has maybe secrets. Maybe there was some other connection or something. Again, these are fictional stories. Do be mindful of that. I'm not a psychic. But this storyline right now, the only way I can read this is no wonder she doesn't really want to talk to this person, because although this is so complicated because there was something really real. That's a white horse and they're in silver for a reason. Their emotions for her were 1000% correct. And the disaster that was trailing them, that was probably theirs. They probably shouldn't have been trying to come in and offer anything to her when they had that kind of a mess. But with something like this, where it's a sincere emotion, I don't know if somebody could have prevented themselves from, maybe they couldn't have held back. Maybe they couldn't help themselves. They loved her, and that's just how it was. But this was equally as true, that disaster, that lightning strikes. And here's the thing. It's not just an oncoming storm. A lightning bolt strikes like practically right as they are arriving to give her this offer. So it's almost like this relationship barely got off the ground. They say, I love you. And then bam, here's the lightning. Here's the storm right overhead. Now this person, no wonder they suit up, because they're going out into the storm. They know, and they've broken her heart. They've broken their own heart. And they are going out to face whatever the battle is, whatever the storm represents. She knew this. She knew this maybe right out of the gate. This could have been one of those things where it's like, man, I looked in their eyes and what I saw was a heartbreak. And I already knew I was walking right into it. I knew exactly how this was going to go. I knew exactly, like, this person, I believe they love me. And I also am positive right from the first moment, this one's going to hurt, because this is going to be a mess. I can already foresee it. I can see them leaving me in the dust. I can see them hurting me. I can see all of that going down, because I know this person came in with a thunderbolt following them. But I also know that this was real. This is a tough story. It's a really tough story, because what do you do? What does a character do when they're faced with something both real and profound and kind of like they're certain it's going to hurt? I think she went ahead and said, well, there could be some kind of, I just did a bonus reading that I put out, which 50% of people will just hate, because it was very fanciful. It was very It's very past life stuff. And I almost feel like this is coming up here again also. But maybe that's it. Maybe that's why there was this pull, this attraction, because it's like, oh my gosh, I feel something for this person, and I shouldn't, because I know this person has complication. They know they have complication, but there is still something that was real in the way that we feel about each other. And that still doesn't negate the disaster that was, again, it's like I knew that this was going to be painful right out of the gate. Okay, so I don't know if there was some other connection, or if this is like she felt like she was married to this person right out of the gate, because I'm inclined to say she automatically felt a connection to this person that was like, my higher self tells me it's going to be a mess, and my higher self also tells me that I already have a bond to this person, a bond that is tough to explain, a bond that feels in my heart like somehow my heart married them. Not on paper, maybe. In fact, maybe there were other obligations elsewhere, but somehow, some way. And this could have been her also. We rarely talk about it like this, but this could be her who was already obligated to someone else. It could be that she fell in love with someone that she couldn't have. And so they put on their armor and walked away from her. And she was like, I shouldn't have felt that way for this person. I don't feel like this is a story about cheating. I feel like this is a story of this is more about the emotional bond that we're talking about, the way the heart feels, the way when we recognize someone that we say, I identify with this person. I don't know what else to say other than I see you, and I also know how this is going to play out. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Let me see. Tell me about that 10 of Cups in the reverse, because that side of her that she doesn't even want to discuss anything. She doesn't want this. We get the Hermit. We get the 8 of Cups, because she's like, I picked myself up. I put my pieces back together, and I've moved on from this, and I need to just keep walking. I finally found, solace. I finally got to the point where I said, this person can't bring me happiness. They didn't bring me happiness. They didn't offer me that castle, or I couldn't be in that castle with them. I feel like there's the lack of satisfaction here she's really made peace with, and gone on some huge deep dive in that soul of hers to find a way to make peace with this. And she's finally walked away from it, and she's headed toward other great mysteries of life. She may know that she has a profoundly intuitive essence to her, and she may want to explore more of that, because it's like, I don't know, I knew right out of the gate how this thing was going to go down. I knew it. So part of her says, no, I've made peace with the fact that this person just about wrecked me, but I also knew it was going to go this way as soon as I met them. But I also know that this was real. And now I just want to know more about, how did I know that? What is it about me that knows that? I don't want to dig any deeper down the road of this thing with them, because my heart is pieced back together with super glue, and it's like a little house of cards. I really healed, but it's also a delicate thing. I don't want to disrupt my delicate balance that I found. I just want to seek more information about, how do I know the things that I know? Okay, but remember, there's that other side of her. It says, part of me wants to sit down and face this person. We got a bear and an eagle on that card also. And that bear and that eagle, we see it here, and we see it up in the night sky. And up above is like that divine star that says this is a sacred and important place. So it's like half of her wants to find a place where she and this person can be totally alone, and they can face each other again. It would take a lot of strength for her to do it, a lot of strength. Leo energy. We have the Tower, and we have the 4 of Swords. It would be it would take so much power, so much strength, and so much courage to do it, because it would be like cracking open a really painful wound that would have to be healed all over again. So it would be like, this would be like opening the floodgates and talking about everything, like what the hell happened? Why did this, where have you been? Let me address how I felt about it, how you felt about it. This is like opening up our broken hearts and like really like having that kind of cry where the snot's running and both people are like, they're getting super real, super real. And she kind of knows it's the only way to really heal this is if we really get into it, and that would take a ton of courage. And there's a part of her where it's like, I'm tenuously perfectly fine right now. Which is, if we're tenuously perfectly fine, we're not really perfectly fine, right? But that's her option. It's like, I can survive this the way it is now without having that big talk and that meltdown and all that stuff. I can get through the rest of my life and be a very happy person and explore my life and live at a really, wonderful level. But I could also crack open this gigantic wound and face this person again and get to the bottom of some stuff with them. So which do I really want to do? No wonder she got her back to, because she flat out could not say what would she be willing to do. Let me ask this. Why is this coming up? Because right now we don't see them coming in. This is more like she's just playing it out with what does she really want? But I don't know that she really has an option to sit down and talk to this person, because we don't see them anywhere here. This is all playing out in one character's mind right now. Okay, so why are we seeing this? Five of Swords. There they are, showing up as a kiddo. Scared. Scared to approach. Feeling like they're going to be kept out. What do they want? What do they want? Eight of Swords. They're stuck in their head. I gotta say, this might be one of those situations where they don't know what to do. She hasn't given them the green light. She doesn't know what to do either. She's here with her back to them. They think she's still going to be hostile, and they don't know what to do. But let me ask that again. What do they want? Not are they stuck, but what do they actually authentically want? Ten of Staves. They want to lay down this burden. Also, I feel like this burden makes them feel like a scared kid. And that's the other thing. This is not a good energy for any adult to walk around feeling, right? When we get scared like we did when we were kids, everyone has a different childhood, but for those of us who know what real fear feels like, it's really ugly to have to relive that as an adult. And I feel like that's what this is. They don't want to feel this burden. They don't want to feel like a kid. Six of Staves, Three of Staves. Part of me says if this person wants to feel, good again, they want to feel like this isn't a burden to them anymore, and that they've moved on and they're proud and they're able to look toward a future. What do they want from her? What do they want from her? The Devil. I mean, this person is still super attached. They want her to be attached to them, but this is toxic. What's the advice to her? What's the advice to her? Please remember, even though I say her, to keep the character straight, could be a masculine, just as easy. The advice to her: Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. How much time has she already lost being stuck on this? Because that's a poignant question to ask. How much time has she spent being lost on this? Seven of Cups. The confusion is what's keeping her stuck. I think that the big advice here, even though it's not, it's not like coming out as like, this is what you need to do. It's coming out with posing a question to her. Have you moved on from this person, is what the universe is saying to this character, to her. The universe is asking her, have you moved on from this person? Oh, okay. So you haven't yet. So did you gain a lot from this situation? Oh, maybe you didn't, because there's a lot missing. Sorry, my dog ate this when he was a baby. And I still use this. I use those cards because to me that adds another element to this particular deck. But then the universe goes on to ask her this: do you know what you would want with this person? Because where there's confusion causes delays. If we couldn't decide what to wear to an event, and we keep changing clothes, we end up running so late that, hey, maybe we don't ever even make it to the event. At some point, we have to choose, and then we have to move. We got to go out of the house. We got to go to the event. So in this case, it's exactly what we've seen is she sits here with her back to this because part of her says, I don't want to give to this. I don't want to give to something that wasn't there for me. I don't want to give to something that hurt this much, even though, if I'm honest, I knew right out of the gate how this would go down. I knew that this person who had genuine emotion for me also had a big old train wreck that they brought with them. I knew that this one was going to be devastating. I just knew it. So now what do I want to do about this? Do I need to face them, or do I need to let this go? And the universe is just simply asking that question instead of giving advice and saying, is holding this keeping you stuck? Is not talking to them making you stay stuck? Two of Staves again. I guess the universe is asking her to ask herself, what are you waiting for, darling? What is it? What do you want from this person? Let's ask that question. This could be a tough one. What does she genuinely want with this person? She wants to heal. The Star and the Ace of Cups in the reverse. She wants to heal from this, I'll say, this kind of emptiness, but I don't think she wants to give this person her heart again. I think what does she want with this person? She simply wants that betrayal to hurt less, or that heartbreak to go away. But we don't see her wanting to give or receive their love again. Then that maybe helps like put this more in perspective for her, because of what she genuinely wants is to heal, but she doesn't really think that she could give her heart to this person again. Not like, okay, I'm in love with you. I don't think she could ever look at this person the same way again, with these cards showing the storyline. And I can only read what storyline comes out. So please remember, this isn't about you. Your story can be totally different, should be totally different, right? Because this is all fictional. But even if there's elements of this that you're resonating with, just remember your life story will be totally different. This is a story where I don't think that in her heart of hearts, I think she already knows that the storyline between them has already played out, because she wouldn't take them back. She wouldn't give her heart again, because I don't know that she would be able to look at them again with that kind of love. Not after whatever has happened. But the desire for the real healing and the real peace is there. And so the only real question is, what will give her greatest peace? So let's ask that. What would give her greatest peace? To actually face them and have a big old cry and talk about everything, or to Queen of Swords in the reverse? Okay, give her greatest peace. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Somebody's upset. Somebody's harboring bitterness and maybe needing to get that off their chest. Hanged Man. Somebody's bitter that somebody took her time. Somebody took her time and left her hanging. Somebody wasted some of her sacred time. However, this is a tough message. Can anybody waste our time that we don't give? Because here's the thing, some of that bitterness might be alleviated more swiftly if, I'm not going to say if she takes responsibility, that sounds so rude, but if she looks at it from a different perspective, right? Was it time wasted, or was it a journey to get to this point? This Seven of Staves is how we deal with gigantic obstacles in life. And we're inside of this incredible temple, and we have walked right into these rays of light. If what she gained out of this was this incredible, deep, profound understanding of herself, which came about possibly because there was a devastating loss, a lack of happiness. And when we lose things that, we're supposed to be really happy, when we go into that devastation, sometimes we find the most beautiful parts of ourselves somewhere, kind of like, it's like mining for diamonds. We dig really deep, and that's where we find these diamonds of what we really are. She's an incredibly powerful person, incredibly beautiful, wise, loving individual who has reached some new depth of understanding of her gifts, her intuitive nature. She's on a journey now where she's headed for something that she's gravitating toward without really fully comprehending what it is she's going toward. This is Stonehenge that she's headed for. I mean, talk about a great mystery, but it's like she's a mystic or a wizard. She already understands whatever that mystery is without putting it into words. She knows she's drawn toward certain things in the universe for the experiences. She knows this about herself now. This is one of the diamonds that she uncovered when she went mining deep down inside of herself. So if the only way she could have reached this level was maybe this was the only way, maybe not, but this is the net result of what she went through with this person. This is who she is today. Is there anything to hold bitterness over? If going into those caverns and finding those diamonds of who she really is there anything to be bitter over when the trade-off was those diamonds? So it's a different way to look at what has happened without bitterness. And if she can look at it from a different perspective, can she release that entirely and say, hey, it was not an easy journey. Finding diamonds rarely is. But I'm a diamond, and I stand here in this inner temple, and I have so much more light inside of me than I ever gave myself credit for. I overcame something that was so hurtful, and I dealt with something, and I came out the other side of this, and I came out a beautiful, strong, intelligent person who also acknowledges, maybe right out of the gate, I did know that this was going to be messy, but I kind of signed up for it. In some way. Now, this does not make anything that happened to her okay. This is not, don't write me hate messages to tell me how wrong I am, that everything that you went through, you shouldn't have had to go through, because I agree with you. I agree with everybody. No one should be hurt. But I'm not talking about you. I'm only talking about characters. And I don't agree with anyone ever being hurt. But that's not what this story is. This story is not making it okay. This story is simply, with the cards that we got, it's bringing up a different perspective. And I can only read what comes out. We got that Hanged Man. It says we got to see it from a different perspective. So I have to step back as a storyteller and see what else comes out. And that's what came out on this. So please know, if a story ever ticks you off, click off, but don't be angry, about the story. Just know that it's not the kind of entertainment that you want to listen to. Totally fine. Just click off, but don't ever let free entertainment get in your head and give you a bad day. Especially if you've been through really something painful in your real life, don't go seeking storylines to listen to that are going to trigger that and make you upset if that's how you're feeling, right? This isn't the way I perceive this story is actually the reverse of her being wounded. It's actually her identifying that she already has come through the other side of this. She actually already has dealt with the worst of it, reinvented herself, and is in a completely different frame of mind. And I don't want to go down, I don't want to pull cards on this one. I don't want to know what that heartbreak was. Because it's not about that anymore. Her question, this whole story has been about a wounded individual trying to figure out, what do I do? Am I letting this go? How do I let this go? What will allow me to let this go? And it looks like in this one, the big message is she simply wants to heal, but she doesn't really want a revival of this. And the last piece of that hurt energy is about to be washed clean because of this new perspective, that Hanged Man card that says she's going to look at this from a slightly different perspective, and kind of like a magic trick, that hurt is gone. Because what's replaced it is, the phrase I like to use is like, her tears have turned to diamonds. That's, from those tears became the most precious things, the biggest lessons of her life. I mean, I gotta say, this person is strong enough to have a dialogue with this character if she wants to, but she's also already beyond this hurt. And it's almost like she's just simply, in this storyline, she simply is realizing it. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for being with me. As always, I'm a storyteller, not a psychic. So I hope that puts my art in a little different perspective. And sometimes I don't get really great stories, and lots of times I guess I don't, but I try to be fair and read them however they come out, no matter what. And so if you guys enjoy this storytelling, thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz. I appreciate each and every one of you who has that, just like that open mind and that fun loving energy where it's like, hey, let's see where it goes. Let's look at the characters, but not put ourselves in the midst of it. And yeah, I love storytelling. I always take away something from all of these myself. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have thought of it that way. Okay, not sure I agree with that. Not sure I love that, but valid point possibly to contemplate, and then say, yeah, but I don't like it. So I do that a lot with my own stories. All right, you guys, thanks for being with me. Lots of love. Bye.